10 rappers who aren't actually from the hood. Today we are going to be going over 10 rappers who are surprisingly completely different than their persona. This is definitely going to be a shocker, so be sure to watch the entire video as you are not going to want to miss out on what we have today. Number 10. 6ix9ine. This one is definitely crazy because Tekashi 6ix9ine has the stigma to him that he is the king of New York and the gang leader of rap. However, he's interestingly not all about that life. Born in Bushwick, Brooklyn to a Mexican mother and a Puerto Rican father, Tekashi aka Hernandez was expelled from school in 8th grade and did not return. Now, the reason we say that 6ix9ine isn't all about the hood is because there are actually multiple pictures of the rapper on the internet before fame. He looks a lot different than what we know of today. Although he did grow up in a dangerous area and was exposed to a lot of crime and gang violence, he never joined any of these groups as a kid. Comparing pictures of Tekashi then versus now is definitely a change. He might be from a bad area, but certainly didn't grow up in the gang life. It wasn't until he started producing music that 6ix9ine changed his character completely. We now see the crazy rainbow hair, tattoos, and of course, the screaming in his music. All on top of lyrics talking about gangs, drugs, money, etc. This one is definitely a big shocker, as many people would think of 6ix9ine as a big-time gang member, but in reality, he wasn't bad as a child. If that was crazy to you, be sure to keep watching as we have so many more rappers to cover today. Number 9. Trippie Redd. Another rapper with the stigma of being a gangster, Trippie Redd is not as it all seems. Trippie Redd is an 18-year-old Canton, Ohio native who grew up with a mother that loved to play Alicia Keys and Nas, a father in prison, and an older brother that was pursuing a career in music. But when his brother suddenly lost his life in a car accident, Trippie took it upon himself to fulfill his brother's dreams of making it in the industry. After making a few tracks with one of his cousins, all of which have since been removed from the internet, he moved down to Atlanta where he quickly connected with Lil Wayne and began to stick his name in the game. Now he's living in Los Angeles and finding the success that he knows his brother would be proud of. However, the reason we say that Trippie Redd isn't all we think of him is because a few months ago he acted all tough with 6ix9ine and ended up getting jumped by some of 6ix9ine's goons. This shows that Trippie Redd may not be all the talk he tries to give off. Number 8. Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy might think he is a tough guy. Guy got some face tattoos, does a homoerotic cover with 50 Cent, and surrounds himself with some dudes wearing SOD shirts, and all of a sudden Soulja is tough. But this may not be the case. He's played off the persona of being super tough and able to run up on anyone in his way. But this isn't true for the most part. Soulja Boy has called out multiple other famous rappers, and instead of going after them, Soulja is taken as a joke because of his threats. People have given up on caring about whether or not Soulja Boy is going to go after who he calls out, because it's kind of become a meme now. He acts extremely tough on camera and in his social media posts, but there hasn't been any incident of him taking this into the streets. Therefore, we have to conclude that Soulja Boy isn't all that tough guy he seems. Number 7. Wiz Khalifa. Wiz is a widely successful rapper known for his hits Black and Yellow, Work Hard, Play Hard, and We Dem Boys. Since emerging onto hip-hop scene in 2005, Khalifa has shown steady progression in the music game and is now considered to be one of the hottest rappers in the music industry. However, he isn't as tough or gangster as one may think. Wiz Khalifa may rep Pittsburgh as his hometown, but he was actually born in North Dakota. Wiz's father served in the military, which caused Wiz and his family to move to many places before settling down in Pittsburgh. After being born in North Dakota, Wiz and his folks moved to Germany, England, Japan, and later made their way to the Steel City where Khalifa grew up for the majority of his life. We all know Wiz's signature shout-out to Taylor Gang, which he reps in the lyrics of his songs. But this gang isn't all as it seems. He may have transitioned into the Pittsburgh scene, but it's definitely not Khalifa's roots. So because of that, we can't call Wiz Khalifa an OG gang or hood rapper. Number 6. Drake. Drake makes rap songs that everyone can listen to. It's actually quite interesting how his music is something guys and girls love to hear. In fact, although he has had issues with Chris Brown and Meek Mill, he has continuously stood up for the women that he respects. As a result, he has grown into a hip-hop feminist of sorts. Drake has come to be known as the crooner of hip-hop due to his lyrics that bridge the gap between hard and soft. His music is an anthem for all the sensitive guys out there who simply love hip-hop music and are unashamed to show their feelings. These days, it seems as though Drake has become the face of soft hip-hop, and he doesn't seem to be complaining about it either. Some may say he tries to rep his hard life too much, but I think he knows about his soft persona. Recently, Drake has been beefing with Pusha T, where it seems as though Drizzy may have actually backed out of the entire situation, making people suspect him as more soft than we think. Another thing to note is Drake's origin. He never grew up in the hood life. He was actually well off with a lot of benefits to start with. Growing up in Toronto, he never had to struggle to make his money, and thus, Drake is considered not about that life. Number 5. Kanye West. Kanye West has been described as a massive and extremely talented human being, mostly by himself. However, it's hard to think of him as anything other than a genius. And with all the public tantrums and outbursts he has made in the recent years, he still continues to find a fan base that regards him fittingly Yeezus. After Ray J blasted him being sloppy seconds in regarding to Kim K, Kanye didn't retaliate in any childish manner. He wrote some powerful songs and started wearing kilts and leather pants instead. With heart and charisma, Kanye West continues to provide listeners with incredible sounds, even if his lyrics are on the soft side. Many critics love to poke fun at his flamboyant wardrobe and accessory choices, which paints him in a softer light than his hip-hop contemporaries. Having his own fashion label that has shows at New York Fashion Week is not something Tupac or Biggie Smalls would have ever thought to think was something that hip-hop artists could do. While it's pretty evident that Kanye isn't really a tough rapper, he actually tried to give off this persona multiple times. But deep down, we all know that Kanye West isn't that gangster rapper we all know to this day. Number 4. Lil Wayne. Born on September 27, 1982 in New Orleans, Louisiana, Lil Wayne worked with hip-hop group The Hot Boys before forging a solo career with albums The Carter and its hit follow-ups 2, 3, and 4. He won 4 Grammy Awards in 2009 for singles like A Milli and Lollipop, and has worked with artists ranging from Robin Thicke to Nicki Minaj. He was jailed in 2010 for weapons possession, but this hood-like character wasn't Wayne's original self. In fact, Wayne grew up as a grade A student and had a lot of good to himself. Although he grew up in a very poor neighborhood in Louisiana, Lil Wayne was able to stay out of the hood and gang life that many other rappers portray. But interestingly, Lil Wayne often shouts out to his hometown and likes to refer to the gang life he was involved in as a young teen. In his lyrics, it may definitely seem like this rapper is tough and grew up with violence, but that isn't really the case. This is a bit of a tough one because Wayne did grow up in the streets, but he wasn't all about that life that it may seem. I think that's actually a good thing, because that shows that Wayne was able to work hard and maintain his good grades, while also producing music and making fame. Number 3. Eminem. Now this one may be very interesting to many people because of how Eminem comes off in his lyrics and in person, but he's not actually from the hood or area he reps in his music. Eminem grew up in St. Joseph, Missouri, and didn't move to Detroit until he was actually 12 years old. But interestingly, M likes to rap about his hometown Detroit, even though it's not his real hometown. Sure, he lived in Detroit for a long time growing up, but he wasn't all from that lifestyle. This could go either way, as he did grow up in the bad neighborhoods, but he wasn't from that area. He often raps about Detroit, and people think, oh dang, he must be from the bad neighborhood. He must have had it tough. This is 100% true, but not his whole life story. It wasn't until he started to get into the teen years that Eminem started becoming a part of the hood. So it's easy to argue that Eminem may have not even remembered living in Missouri, but he doesn't rep his real hometown. This is kind of a tough one because it could go either way. Number 2. Rick Ross. Rick Ross is a rapper and label boss from Mississippi who has received Grammy nominations but also had his background called into question. He's had his fair share of legal tussles, as well as the obligatory rap beef, 50 Cent, but is he really all about that life? Raised in Carroll City, Florida, an impoverished area of north of Miami, Ross gravitated to the music of street-oriented rappers like Tupac Shakur, Notorious B.I.G., Luther Campbell, and Ice Cube. Although he attended Georgia's Albany State State University on a football scholarship for a year, Ross started writing rap lyrics which portrayed himself as a hood figure. The Maybach music rapper dropped a bombshell in 2008. Ross confessed that he had worked as a correctional officer, and it led many people to question his credibility and the authenticity of his art. So this led to the topic of whether or not Ross is really from the hood or not. This could go either way, as he definitely didn't grow up in the best areas, but was he really about that life? Number 1. J. Cole. J. Cole has a lot of critics who claim that he isn't tough enough to be a rapper due to his lighter skin. In fact, all the criticism is what fuels him to deliver exceptional music, with lyrics that cut through you in ways you didn't know was possible in hip-hop. J. Cole is considered a soft rapper because with all his rap skills, all he truly delivers are love songs. Now, these aren't ballads that the pop stars are singing. These are poetic and beautiful love songs disguised as hip-hop songs. His down-to-earth nature and humbleness perpetuate the soft rapper ideal. There is no way denying his talent, but his uniqueness is based on his emotional, soulful aura. He doesn't claim to be really hood-like, but he has tried to act tough multiple times. In reality, he isn't all that tough guy look he portrays.
Just another reminder to enter the iPhone 10 giveaway we have going on. All you guys need to do is subscribe, turn on post notifications, drop a like, and comment the hidden message in the video.